Hello and welcome to the channel update for January the 3rd, 2016. This is the first channel update of the year, so I'm just going to say before we get started, thank you all the new subs that have joined the channel. It was really exciting to see how many people joined over the Christmas break, which was quite surprising because I put out a lot less videos over that time. It was only one series going on, but the number of views, the number of the watch time, the subscribers, they were all staying fairly consistent, which surprised me a lot, and I just want to say thanks for sticking with the channel. So, let's talk about what's going to be on the channel in the next month. So, let's open up this Excel spreadsheet I've got here. Not so exciting. Basically, what's going to be on the channel in the next month was what's on the channel before the break. So, EU4 Great Can series is going to be continuing. It will hopefully end at some point. It has been dragging on quite a lot, but I'm not going to let the achievement beat me, and we will get it. I'm fairly certain that we have already pretty much got the achievement on the run that we're doing. It's just a matter of finishing it out and not doing anything that completely ruins it. I think if it was to fail again, it's probably just going to go away. But it won't, and we can continue doing that. While we're talking about EU4, we should talk about the EU4 Burgundy series, which is it's going to be a little bit more off schedule, but I am planning. I've got amount of time over here on the left-hand side of the Excel spreadsheet, and on the right-hand side, left-hand side of the timetable. Basically, this is going to say how much I'm expecting to come out of the week. So how many episodes that is can vary. Obviously, for the EU4, the top 3 ones, they're pretty much consistent. It's 20 minutes videos, roughly 100 minutes for each of them. But some of the others, like the Burgundy series, I'm looking at doing 3 episodes a week. When those episodes is a little bit more in the air, but they should be, they should be coming out. And then once the Great Can series ends, we can just move Burgundy into its slot, and then I don't have an extra series that doesn't really fit anywhere. What else? Let's talk about CK2 next. CK2 is steadily becoming the most watched series on the channel, and I'm really happy about that. I quite like playing CK2, and the RP series is a very different way of playing it. It's kind of trying to play as optimally as possible within your character's traits, which adds a little bit of a spin on it. Which, not that the Warhammer series itself isn't fun, but the RP series provides a little bit of the challenge that I feel I was missing from the game. Because it's trying to think of a way that you can still improve what your character would want without actually doing something your character wouldn't do. So it's a little bit different. The Warhammer series, on the other hand, is a bit more. It's challenging because I have no idea what's going on. There are a few bugs here and there in that mod, but it seems to overall it's pretty interesting, and it puts a couple of spins on some concepts, but it's not too out there. I'm interested to see how the magic system goes. If that's really interesting, then we'll probably stick with the mod a little bit more. If it turns out to not be that interesting, it'll probably just be a couple more series, and then they're not really going to be long series. And then probably I'm looking at Elder Kings next, because that should be that looks like a really well fleshed out mod as well, and I would want to try that out. There are some other mods, I can't remember what they are. Like these, there's one where you're in space or something. I forget what it's called. It's something like Confederacy something. Basically, that looks like an interesting mod, but it's very unpolished right now. So I'm hoping that if I just leave it a little bit, it will get a little bit more polish, and then, we could jump into that for a little bit. Of course, Stellaris is probably coming out at the end of this year or start of next year, which, if you don't know, is Paradox's new kind of grand strategy IP, where it's going to be in space and be able to go and colonize worlds, and it looks really interesting. There isn't a lot of gameplay out there for it, just because it's in alpha, so they don't really know like what's going to happen. So it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to Hearts of Iron 4, although there are some rumors that that might not be coming out in even at the start of this year, like in the first 2 quarters. So it might be coming out even later, so we'll see about that. The rumors were from, apparently they had a beta that was knocked back for December, like it was meant to be in December, and it did not happen, so, you know, it looks like it might, like they're doing a lot of streams about it, so who knows, it might be coming out soon, at which point I would probably play some of that, although I will be really bad at that. I didn't play any of Hearts of Iron 3, I tried to go back and play it, and after seeing what Paradox can do with a better UI, like in EU4, go back to some of their old ones, it's a bit like, this is incomprehensible. I have no idea what's going on, so, you know, hopefully Hearts of Iron 4 sticks with the EU4 kind of, sticks with its kind of clean. It was relatively easy to understand jumping in, because it's like you have these admin points, you have the diplo points, and you have military points. You spend them to do things you want to do. It's a fairly simple system, but I wonder how they're going to fit that in to Hearts of Iron, which is apparently one of the more complex games. Anyway, enough rambling on about that. Dragon Age, the new series will be starting this week on Thursday. I'm planning to have Monday's episode be the Dragon Age Keep video, which is going to do all the choices from Dragon Age Origins to the end of Dragon Age 2, and basically that will give anyone who hasn't watched those series a chance to be like, okay, this is where the situation is, and then we're moving on. But yeah, it's going to be a good series. It's going to be a little bit less of what Dragon Age 2 was. Dragon Age 2 was almost an 100% playthrough. Inquisition, it may be 100% file that we end up with at the end, but I'm only going to show the main parts of each area, because a lot of the side quests are just here's a piece of paper on the ground, take it to this other piece of paper on the ground, and then you finish the quest. It's like, they're not actually that interesting. I mean, you miss a little bit of the party banter, but I mean, if someone's really desperate to see the party banter, they can go and watch the other side quest videos, because I'm telling you, it will be identical in every way. So, yeah. Dragon Age Inquisition's probably going to be quite a short series. I don't know, I'm trying to think how many areas there are in it. There's maybe 10 areas? Like 10 main quest areas? Maybe a little bit more than that. And I'd plan to do about an area a week. So it'd be like prologue in first week, then the next week would have maybe the hinterlands or something. And it would just, and off camera I'd do all the leveling and all the inventory and all the war table quests. And then we can just stick to the actual fun bit of the game, which is it's the characters and the story. At least in my opinion, that's what's more interesting about Inquisition. I mean, the combat's fine, it's just, you know, it's not that interesting. Maybe playing as a different class will make it more interesting, who knows. And the last series I need to talk about is Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. It will be continuing. I do have about 6 episodes recorded, which I recorded before the holidays, but just didn't put up for some reason or another. Like there was just reasons not to put it up, and I thought I'll just wait till after the holidays. And yeah, the person I'm doing it with has decided it doesn't really fit their channel, so they're not actually going to be putting it up on their channel anymore, which does actually open it up a little bit more for this channel. Basically, before we were sticking to maybe a very, very hard 20-minute cut. Like, there were no videos over 20 minutes, or there shouldn't have been. I think there was maybe one that went to 21 minutes, and that was an outlier. But now I'm thinking about half-an-hour episodes, maybe 3 a week, maybe 2 a week. Depends how much we can get recorded, because obviously they're not recording it for their channel anymore. It does kind of make things different, although they will be they're still going to be recording it at the same time that I am, like, they're going to be recording it with me anyway. They don't need to set up all the recording software, so it's just kind of there. So they can just jump in, record, and leave without having to do any setup on their side. So I can kind of set it up on my side. So I don't know. It's going to take some. It's going to be some amount going up there. Something you don't see on the timetable is any Telltale series. One, that's because Telltale do not have a lot of, do not have any kind of schedule for their series. They just kind of release them when they want. And two, that's because there are no Telltale series going on right now. That's because Game of Thrones ended, Borderlands ended, and I'm not going to do Minecraft any further just because it was... I don't know. I don't think I'm the target audience. I kind of knew that going in. I just wanted to see how it was. I mean, it's an alright game. I'd probably, if someone was like, should I get it? I like the Telltale games, what would be suitable for a child to get? I'd be like, well, the Minecraft one would probably be good. But apart from that, I'm a bit like, I don't really have any desire to go and record any more of it. I might go and play it off camera and just like experience it that way, but nobody was watching it, and if I don't feel any great need to record it or play it, then I'm not going to do it. It also means that I don't have a random extra 5 hours of content a month or something to put up. If Game of Thrones or what's the other one, or Borderlands come back, I'll definitely do that. If they do any more Wolf Among Us, I'd definitely like to do that on the channel. Not so much The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead ones, you kind of need to play 1 and 2 to get any to get them emotional investment, I feel. And the you kind of lose something if you were to just jump in at what would be Season 3. Not that they've announced that yet, but, you know, if they were to announce it. They also have a whole bunch of other things going on with Telltale. Like, they have, I think they have a Marvel one, and they have a Batman one going on as well. And they have a... What's the other ones? I'm trying to think. They have a whole bunch of stuff on Telltale. And we'll see what comes out over the next year. If anything interesting comes out, definitely play it. But, you know, it depends. Like, they have a lot of stuff coming out, and it'd just be a matter of whether anything fitted into the schedule. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in 2016 that's coming up that I'm really that interested in. I don't actually know if there's anything coming up. I don't know. There's nothing really jumping out at me. What might be interesting is there's going to be new CK2... there's going to be a new patch coming out. I say soon. They've been doing dev diaries for it, so I assume it's soon. And that's going to be interesting because it adds in some mechanics that I'm not 100% with. Like, it adds in basically it's adding an aggressive expansion from EU4 and Shattered Retreat from EU4. Which Shattered Retreat makes a little bit of sense. If you don't know what Shattered Retreat is, it's when you have a unit and it loses a battle. What it will do is it will retreat maybe 5 or 6 provinces away, usually to a fort or like to some home province. And it gives you a little bit of time, and it'll gain morale as it's walking away. Basically, it means that you don't do the thing that you currently do in CK2, which is an army loses a battle, it moves 1 province away, you chase the army loses the next battle, you go 1 province away, you chase the army loses the next battle. So that's a little interesting that they're doing that. I wonder if they're going to actually change all of the combat so that there's more chance of actually being able to kill an army outright. Because right now, if you had that extra chance to kill an army outright, then it would completely ruin the game, because every time you're chasing the army around, there's going to be no way to come and reinforce it, because you're just going to kill the army really quickly. But if it has Shattered Retreat, you either have to kill it in 1 battle, or it will wander away 5 or 6 provinces, and then you can go and chase it down there. I don't know. Also, a thing that EU4 does is it doesn't allow you to see where the army is going when it's retreating, so I don't know. I wonder how they're going to deal with that with CK2. Basically, they've got some weird stuff happening with it, and I'm not entirely sure I like that they're trying to get into EU4. I kind of play CK2 for CK2, but whatever. The main thing that I'm interested in is the Game of Thrones mod. Has a few things that are going to be great in it, because they've got things like you can marry off someone for an alliance. Like that's going to be an option. So you can specifically say, I'm marrying this child to this child of mine to this child of yours, and this will make our families have an alliance. Rather than there is an alliance because they're married, I believe it's going to be, it'll be, even if these characters die, the alliances still exist, kind of thing. And it's going to be a proper alliance, like in, say, in EU4 again. It's going to be a, they are called into your wars kind of alliance, rather than they might come to your war. It's going to be, they will be called into your wars, or they will suffer a penalty, I think. But that's going to be interesting. There are also other ways to secure alliances. I don't fully remember all of them at the second, but there was a dev diary about it, and I think it's going to be very interesting. Anyway, I've waffled on enough, and I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody, and I hope you all have a good 2016. Right, see you next time. Goodbye.